Dude. So this I wish I could have been in that room
Yeah.
where they were like, "All right, I got an idea. Let's do Robin Hood."
Yeah.
No, no, no. Yes,
Hold
but
on,
what
hold
if it
on.
was Yep, wait. What if it was Robin Hood in space?
Yeah.
Wow,
Sort of.
that's really good. No, no, I'm not gonna call it that. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
call it Rocket
Rocket.
Robin
Rocket
Hood,
Robin Hood.
and
Yeah.
it's gonna be Robin Hood, but in space, and
Yeah.
yeah.
This was one of the episodes I was most excited about, and it lived up to that excitement.
It
So
did not disappoint. I
I'm so
gotta
ready.
be
I'm
honest.
so ready.
I feel like I'm super biased though. I'm
Yeah.
super because I'm a huge Buster Crabbe, Flash Gordon fan.
Yeah. Okay.
And this had every note of
Yeah.
that, which
Yeah.
is good and I think is also bad.
Yeah. I mean,
And
I don't have any, I mean, this is the most we've talked about this. So I'm excited to hear your
yes.
feelings about Rocket Robin Hood. Let's do it.
Okay. All right, let's get into it. Welcome to This Endorian Life, a nostalgic podcast from the Radio Meanwhile Network. My name is Steve Rudd.
I'm Nick Gunning, and today we're settling in for some vintage Saturday morning cartoons, Canadian style.
Ooh, I didn't even know that. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Today we are discussing the Canadian series Rocket Robin Hood, Season 1, Episode 1,
Yeah.
The Prince of Plotters, which
That's right.
originally aired on CBC, not S, CBC in
Yes.
1967.
That's right.
Woo,
That's right.
long time
And
ago.
you feel every inch of that dating, and you feel every inch of its Canadian essence. You know, it just
Oh man,
it's
this is
really
probably
it's
the
really
first one I think I was 5 seconds in and I was like, "Wait." Then I went to IMDb to like find out when this came out and I was like, "Okay, I feel a bit better."
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I don't know, we were like in the 80s era.
That's true. We
And so I was
have
like, "Whoa."
this may be the oldest thing we've done.
I think so.
Because
Yeah.
maybe the story of the faithful Wookiee, maybe the
Well,
thing
Star
was
Trek
like
didn't we
70s.
oh, I
Star
guess
Trek.
technically
But the Star
because
Trek animated series was in the 70s. This is the
oh,
full
was it in the
60s.
70s?
It
Oh,
was,
that's
yeah.
right, because the original
72
series
or
was
whatever, yeah.
66,
Yep.
and it had to be in the 70s,
Yeah.
which is crazy because this was right in that, like, almost that same feel, right?
Yes.
Same artistry, animation style, and everything.
And we went really early in this run. There was like a pilot special that sort of aired before this, and then Prince of Plotters was like the first. Okay, it's a regular series now. And as I
Yeah.
looked into this a little bit, it seems like seasons 2 and 3 get more trippy and take on a different sort of feeling.
Oh,
Because this to
interesting.
me felt a lot like, I mean, you said Flash Gordon, but it had that
Mhm.
old style serial vibe where it's like we had a new title sequence every 7 minutes or something.
Yeah, and I
You
think
know,
because they were, I don't know, like 8-minute serials. Like I
yeah,
looked at it, was about
that's
every 8 minutes or so, and they kind of
that's
had like a
certainly how it
little.
runs.
I didn't actually
Where,
write that in there, so we'd have to discuss that. But yeah,
yeah,
so yeah, go. I'm sorry. Go
I
ahead. I
think so.
interrupted
No,
you.
no, but the later episodes, I poked around a little bit and I watched just like sequences from seasons 2 and 3,
Mhm.
and it feels much more like Star Trek the animated series as it goes on. It settles into that a
Oh,
little bit more and is more of a straight, here's like a 20-minute episode.
okay.
If down the road we want to revisit a season 3 episode, I would be into that. But
Okay. Yeah.
let me tell you a little bit about. Of course, this is based on the Robin Hood legend, which dates back to the 1300s. The series ran on the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, or CBC, for a total of 53 episodes, with a pilot debuting on October 9th, 1966. And remember, the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, that works a little bit differently than
Mhm.
ours. Like they have to have a certain amount of like certified Canadian citizens
Yeah. I
as
remember
like
that the
voice
radio was
actors.
like that as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. So it's a little bit more like it has to be a very homegrown kind of thing, which, I think there are pros and cons to that. This series shared some created links to the classic Spider-Man 67 series. Spider-Man 67 is the Spider-Man does
Oh,
whatever a
okay,
spider can.
yeah.
The famous like pointing meme is from Spider-Man
Yeah.
67.
That's
And actually,
it's
as
so great.
episodes go later, they took some Rocket Robin Hood episodes and basically just took out Rocket Robin Hood and
Cloned
put
'em.
Spider-Man in his place.
Mm.
So, maybe that's something to look at down the road. But this series was released in Canada on DVD starting in 2009 with both English and French language tracks. Seems like it's hard to find now. And I wondered if
Yeah.
there was supplemental, like were there action figures, were there comic books? I couldn't find anything, like nothing on the internet about
Wow.
that. So I think it was just kind of its own thing.
Huh.
And it did air in the US, like it was a Canadian thing, but mostly like Buffalo and Michigan. And it seemed like places that you could sort of get Canadian channels or there was already cooperation between the stations.
Yeah.
So it did have some U.S. airings over the course of its run. The series was written by Ralph Bakshi, directed by Alan Green. And the cast list includes Carl Banas as Titanor and Dr. Manta, who also voiced Scorpion in the Spider-Man series.
Oh.
We have Len Berman as Rocket Robin Hood himself, and in live action, he played Simon Mills in Captain America and Captain America 2, Death Too Soon, which you and I watched those on VHS.
We did. It was with you.
Many a time.
I saw.
Yes.
I went in and looked. I
Yes.
was like, "Who's this guy supposed to?" I was like, "Captain America and Death Too Soon."
Yeah.
Wait a minute, I've seen that.
Yes, we watched
It was
those on
with you.
VHS with our pal Dan Christo in New Jersey. Watch
Oh
Captain
my
America's got his
gosh.
big blonde puffy hair and he's got his motorcycle.
Remember
and-
when he blasts out of like the back of the Econoline
Yeah.
Econoline van, and it's like foggy as all heck.
Yeah,
in
yeah,
there?
yeah, yeah.
It's like
And-
it's like his hot box.
Yeah. The best part of those two is the special effects were so bad. It's like when it's showing that he's good, it shows him running and he's running really fast, but he's
Yeah.
running in front of the ocean. And so the waves are crashing in the background. So the waves are like
Super
crash,
fast.
crash, crash.
Yeah, yeah.
Because everything is sped up, gang, not just Captain America.
You
Uh,
do see the actors trying as hard as they can.
They're
to,
doing
like,
their best.
Run slow or walk
Yep.
really slow, but
Yep.
yeah, it's totally obvious.
You can't do
that
anything
it's
about
sped
the
up.
waves. Although they didn't have to film it in front of waves. They could
They
have filmed
didn't
it in
have
front of a
to.
steady background, but that's fine. Those aren't cartoons, but maybe we need to break the mold and cover Captain
Oh,
America
man.
Death Too Soon at some point because these are epic. Anyway, Ed McNamara voices Little John, and he'd voiced Rhino in the Spider-Man animated series. Paul Kligman as Friar Tuck, voiced J. Jonah Jameson in Spider-Man. We have Gilly Fenwick as the Sheriff of Knot, who voiced the Lizard on Spider-Man. We have John Scott as Prince John, and this is his only voice credit.
Huh.
So they just pulled him in there. Bernard Cohen serves as narrator, and he appeared in 49 episodes of Spider-Man in various roles. Finally, the voice actress for Maid Marian, who is a pretty crucial piece of this, is uncredited. And I scoured the internet trying to find reference to who this actress was, and I could not find it anywhere.
No
So,
way.
I don't know. Lost to time, I guess.
Huh.
Our Star Wars link, and this was a delight to uncover. Chris Wiggins voices Will Scarlet in this episode, and like many of his castmates, he also did work on Spider-Man voicing Mysterio. But in our hearts, Steve, he will always be Manjalpa. Manjalpa, a voice that we heard in 5 beloved episodes of Droids.
5 wonderful
Yeah.
episodes.
Amazing episodes. Of
I mean, I
Droids.
look back and those
Manjalpa.
are the most memorable episodes. So as
Oh
much
yeah,
as
I
we're
will never
knocking
forget
them, like,
Manjalpa.
I
So
will never forget Manjalpa. What's I'm gonna be at something when I'm like 80, and they're gonna be like,
Yeah.
Steve, what is your after all Star Wars has been banned
Yeah.
or something for some
Yeah.
crazy reason, like it's all up in my mind, and I'll be telling it to kids. I'll be like,
Yeah.
what's your favorite Star Wars character in the history of Star Manjalpa? I'm
Yeah.
just gonna say it like that, and they're gonna be
I
like,
think you should.
wow.
those are your last words. Your dying breath, you just choke out Manjalpa, and your children are puzzled by this for decades afterwards. What did Dad mean?
Yeah, what is
What could
Manjalpa?
Manjalpa mean?
What language is that?
Yeah, that's a good way. That's a good way to go out.
Oh my
So that is our cast and crew for Rocket Robin Hood. The Prince of Plotters.
Oh
I
my God.
should say we had said last time that we were going to watch The Time Machine, and I did
Yes.
watch The Time Machine, but that was all about the gang going back and meeting the original Robin Hood, and so it's not in space. It's very atypical of the
Ah,
series. So we pivoted to Prince of Plotters because we get all the spacefaring action we could ever want.
yeah. And so Prince of Plotters, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, what is that? So when I first saw that, I was thinking like plotting,
Right.
like in space, not
Yeah.
like plotting
Like
evil.
nefarious schemes. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking like a plotter, like
Yeah.
somebody like
Yeah.
going through space for some
Yeah.
reason because of his rocket.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, wait, what does this have to do with plotting? And I was like,
Yeah.
I guess it doesn't have to do with both, kind of,
Right.
but I guess
Sort
it
of.
does. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah.
Either more plotting evil, but
Yeah.
not plotting through space.
Yeah. I assumed
But,
it was the evil plot.
Did
But
you?
yes, I
I'm
did.
just a
Yes, I
weirdo
did.
then.
It makes sense. No,
Where
I
are
mean
they
you're
plotting?
looking for space connections. I get it.
I
I get
know.
it.
Oh man. All right. Shall I take us through
I would love
the
it if you
uber
would.
detailed plot
Yeah,
of
I think so.
the Rocket Robin Hood?
Yeah, which we heard
Season
many
1.
times. So
I'll do it in song form.
please.
The Prince of Plotters. Rocket Robin Hood trains with his merry men, and the lot do seem very merry
Yeah.
as they enjoy pranking each other. Meanwhile, in a village on the planetary headquarters of the National Outer Space Terrestrial Territories, or NOT for
Yes.
short, not KN. Oh, is Nottingham K? It's K, right?
No, I think it's
True
an N. I
Nottingham?
think it's just N.
Is it an N?
I think so.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Nottinghamshire? Yeah, Nottingham
Yeah.
Forest, the soccer team. Yeah.
Yep.
I worked with a guy who was from Nottinghamshire.
Oh, really? That's funny.
Yeah.
Probably was a big Rocket Robin Hood fan, I would assume.
Oh, hopefully, yeah. Okay, Not for short. The sheriff of Not and his henchman Titanor collect exorbitant taxes. The village mayor tries to reason with them, but Titanor destroys his cottage and scrambles his brain with a neuron puppet rod. Titanor takes the mayor back to the dungeons of the prince. At the forest of Not, Prince John is furious that he doesn't have to have enough taxes to live an exorbitant life. The sheriff hints that it is difficult for the people to pay when they are so starved. Titanor moves to scramble his brain, but the sheriff pleads that he has an idea to capture Rocket Robin Hood.
Mm.
The prince can lure Rocket Robin into a trap if Titanor challenges him to a duel. If Titanor wins, then Robin is captured. If Robin wins, then the prince will promise to lower taxes.
Oh, great.
Surely.
That sounds like an easy,
Surely.
yeah.
Yes. Sounds fairly straightforward
Yeah.
and has no way of being double crossed.
Uh-uh.
Robin accepts the duel and meets Titanor in outer space in an outer space rocket ski battle.
Keep going.
Rocket
Yep.
battle, rocket ski battle.
Something like that.
What
Yeah.
you're imagining in your head, it is, no matter what I say, it is exactly what you're thinking.
Yep.
Despite Titanor being massive, Rocket Robin has little trouble making an embarrassing spectacle of him. Robin easily disarms Titanor of his staff, but he quickly pulls out the neuron puppet rod. The two tussle in space, and again, Titanor fails to defeat him and is again disarmed. Robin sneaks up behind Titanor, sabotaging his rocket skis and making him careen into an asteroid. The battle is over, however, when comet dust gets into Titanor's eyes.
Uh-oh.
Rocket Robin offers to help, but the cowardly Titanor attempts to shoot Robin again with a hidden ray gun. Robin declares victory, making the prince furious, so he springs the trap, capturing Robin. Watching the duel and treachery on screen, Robin's men blast off to intercept the cruiser, taking Robin back to the Fortress of Not. However, the rocket fighters are no match for the cruiser's speed and armor, and they resort to Plan B. Gather in the woods behind the fortress. I don't know. When he said that, it just sounded like the funniest thing. Like, darn, we can't get him in this epic space ray gun battle. Let's go hide in the woods behind this fort. Like, it was like, okay, that was Plan B. Maybe that should have just been Plan A in the
Yeah, it
first
might have. It
place.
seemed like, yeah.
Because they were like, yeah, aim for the engines, don't blow it up. It's like, yeah. Well, for obvious reasons,
Right.
don't blow it
That
up.
would be a problem.
I know. All right. At the Fortress of Not, the prince threatens to turn Rocket Robin into a crystal statue with his crystallizer globes. He sends for the mayor to send word back to the people that taxes are doubled and shows him that even Rocket Robin can't help him because he'll
Oh,
be dead
no.
soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to write soon dead as a nod to Star Wars, the Soon Dead and Gonna Bite It.
Oh,
but,
sure. Yeah.
I didn't know if I could work it in there well
You
enough.
might have been able to.
Soon
Yeah.
dead because he'll be soon dead. Soon
Right.
dead.
Right.
The mayor is intercepted by Robin's men in the woods and gives them information that can help save Robin. Robin's last wish before death is to see the prince's treasure vault. Lacking humility, the prince obliges him and brings him to the torture chamber filled with fortress torturers. What? However, the vault is cleverly hidden behind the torture chamber, and the prince opens the vault, gloating at its riches. Haha. Robin insults the prince and has a more ironic idea. Instead of turning him to crystal, he decides to chain him inside the vault. Robin haughtily barks like a dog. Ha ha, woof woof, if he is to be the prince's guard dog. Guarding his
Mhm.
treasure till he
Mhm.
dies, I guess. I
Yeah.
don't know. That was weird. Anyway, Titanor is furious, but before he can toss Rocket Robin inside the torturers reveal themselves as Robin's men, and a frenzied battle ensues. Rocket Robin wins, and his men toss the prince and all of his guards into the vault and set the door on a time release. Just enough time for them to grab some gold and escape. Friar Tuck then realizes that Robin must have known the torturers were his men when he barked like a dog, but
Mhm.
was puzzled as to how he knew. Robin knew because there's there's none other in the galaxy as fat as Friar Tuck. Ha 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 ha. Roll credits. Yeah.
Later, it's I don't remember what episode it is, but because I just kind of let this roll, and even this morning, like I was getting ready, and I just kind of had the playlist playing in the background, until I'd catch little bits of it. But there's one where they're going on like a secret mission, and Friar Tuck's name is like the Fat One or something, and he's like, Robin, surely there's a better name for me than that, and they're like, sorry, Fat One, we're on a time crunch, and you're stuck with it. Here's the biggest head scratcher to me about this.
Yeah.
Why is it not just Robin Hood set in the year 3000? Why do they keep
Yes.
harping on I'm the 10th great grandson of the original Robin Hood?
Yes. It just
That's
means
weird
that
to me.
9 generations of Robin Hood failed to defeat.
I think so.
I mean, there's literally, what is this, Prince John the
The-
9th then,
Yeah.
or the 10th?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
really? Like they couldn't it's just the
It's a dynasty.
taxes and
Yeah.
the prince, I guess,
Same
for
old
9,
thing.
10
I guess
generations.
this is a meditation on the futility of life,
Yeah,
like it's just going to keep going. It's
I
just
thought
going to
that
keep
was
going.
weird too that they did that, and I was like, oh, year 3000,
Yeah.
and they're still wearing like cloth shoes,
Right.
and bow and arrows, and
Did you
leotards.
watch The Time Machine, or did we switch before you'd watched it?
No, I was
Okay.
I was gonna watch it. Yeah, and
Okay,
we
good.
switched
Well,
before
So
I
in
watched
Time
it.
Machine, the sheriff is like, I'm going to get rid of you forever by sending you back to my ancestor, the sheriff of Nottingham. Crazy. And so they go back there.
No way.
Yeah, and the whole time they're just there, and like they look exactly like the original Robin Hood and
Yeah.
everything. Like all the characters look exactly alike. And so clearly we're just like reusing animation cells and stuff and like adding a hat or something. But that just really drove home again. Like this is such a weird premise. Like I think everyone would just totally accept it's Robin Hood in the 3000s. You don't have to explain it.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of hurts it.
And why didn't they make him more space aged? Like it would have
Yes.
been okay if it was like just all the same characters: Little
Yes.
John, Will Scarlet, like
Yep.
Friar Tuck, Maid Marian. It would have been fine, but like
Yeah.
to make them wearing like 1300s like medieval peasant clothes,
Right.
but then put on rocket skis was like a weird. And
Yeah.
I guess it made sense to me because then you could tell who they were. I had to sit there
Yeah.
and go like, why would they do that? Okay, because then you may not know who it is
Right.
flying through the air, but I mean, then you
Right.
would only have to then you could just animate the face inside, and it could be
Yeah.
anybody, and you could
Right.
reuse that film
But
later,
it's just sort of like half the time it seems like it's just a Robin Hood show, and then they're like, oh,
Yeah.
and now they're fighting in space, and it's like right, because we're in the year 3000. So I feel like that was sort of the core. I didn't make that my oak of arc, but I feel like that is kind of the core issue here, just
Yeah.
one or the other. And I sort of feel like, based on what I was watching, that they kind of get away from that idea, or at least they just don't talk about it in the later seasons and stuff. It's
Okay.
just sort of like,
Yeah.
yeah, Robin Hood in space. Yep, you get it.
It's Robin Hood. Yeah, even Sherwood Forest is not an actual it's not the woods
Right.
behind the Fortress of Knot.
Right.
It is an asteroid that apparently
Yeah.
flies through space and can be in upper atmospheres. It looked
I
like at one
guess.
point.
I guess. Yeah, there's some iffy
Yeah.
science, but it's the year 3000. You
It's
know,
the year 3000.
so
Who
many
knows?
advancements between
They
now
have
and
an
then.
asteroid that it clearly looks like a planet. It doesn't
There's
look like an asteroid at all.
There's a couple of things working in the favor of this, and I admit is I
Hmm.
already like Spider-Man 67. I used to watch like those old like Batman and Captain Marvel serials when I was a kid, and so the format kind of spoke to me.
Yeah.
I honestly, it's campy, but I honestly don't know if it knows that or not. That's
Yeah, I agree
Is
with
it tongue
that.
in cheek?
It
Because
felt like it I mean, it felt like it made sense. Like, I wasn't sitting there going like, "Oh my goodness." I was just
yeah.
like, "No, this is like this works. This is exactly what I expected." The corniness, the
Yeah.
cheesiness, the double crossing. I think my Oak of Arc and my Ichiwawa both like I have contradictions for, but
Okay.
it was the fact that like it just worked, that it didn't actually
Yeah.
matter. And I think it was
Right.
even though you could sit here and say a strength was also a weakness,
Yeah.
or a weakness was also a strength, that I don't know. I feel like they yeah, I feel like regardless, they worked. That like it was so weird and silly, and the premise was very simple.
Yeah.
It wasn't trying to be complicated. They weren't
No.
adding extra layers. It was very linear, and then it resolved, and they're like, "Ha!" And
Yeah.
it's just like, "Oh, okay." Like that was fairly harmless episode.
Yeah. And knowing that, like, as it goes on, especially, it seems like season 3, based on my research, gets, and from the images I saw, gets trippier. Like, is real. Like, we're
Okay.
on a whole living planet, and it's like hands coming out of the ground, like grabbing the, just like crazy
Oh
stuff.
wow. Okay.
And I can sort of see how that would happen from where we are now. But I guess, like, the bottom line is, I had a good time with this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not good. I think you'd have
Yeah.
to really struggle to convince somebody that it's good, but it's entertaining and it's watchable. Like, the colors are kind of drab. It's not great acting. The character designs are a little iffy, but at the end of the day, I wasn't in a rush to turn it off. I was kind of like, this is so weird.
Yeah.
I did not tell my wife what this was or why I was putting it on, and it was like we had this sort of overlap. Our son was going to bed, but we weren't really quite settling in for the evening. So I just kind of put it on. And like 5 minutes in, she's just like, what is this fever dream that you've put on the screen? And she was just baffled by it the entire time. And it's like every time we'd get an ending credit and then an opening credit again, like in the middle of an episode, she was very confused by the whole thing. So,
Yeah.
it's not for everyone, but I had a good time with it. I don't know.
I thought it was fun. Even my wife was like, "Can you put headphones on? That's really annoying." And I was like, "Okay."
Yeah.
I was like, "I get that. I get that."
Yeah.
It's kind of
Well,
like,
I mean, in 20 minutes, you hear the Rocket Robin Hood in its
Yeah.
entirety 3 full times. So that's a lot. It's a lot. How do you feel about Robin Hood in general? Is that a thing? Like, do you like Robin Hood stuff?
so
Do you
I
not care?
love Robin Hood.
I do too.
Like
Okay.
huge fan. When I was a
Yeah.
kid, I would think I was Robin Hood like 3 or 4 times,
Yeah.
3 or 4 years in
Okay.
Halloween as Robin Hood. Like I had
Okay.
my parents made a costume. I went out with like that. If you remember the Nerf bow and arrow, like
Yeah.
the original Nerf
Yep.
bow and arrow, that like pink and blue one, I was Robin Hood. Yeah, huge Robin Hood fan. Loved it. And so this, I was just like, I'm already biased.
Yeah, me too. I remember going to see the Kevin Costner one, Prince of Thieves. I saw that in
Yeah.
theaters, and I was definitely too young to see that movie. But I
Yeah.
saw that in theaters. I mean, I
Yeah, you
loved-
were. Yeah.
definitely. Yeah,
You would have been.
loved Robin Hood Men in Tights. Of course, I
yeah, of
love,
course.
Disney Robin Hood. Do 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 do. I mean, there you go.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Even the
good.
recent stuff, though. I mean, that one that came out with Russell Crowe and Alan Doyle. I
Yeah, the
like
Ridley
that one a
Scott
lot.
one, right? Yeah, that was very entertaining. Yeah.
Yeah, the Jamie Foxx one that just came out that was kind of a bomb. I like that too. So,
What was
you know,
was the Jamie Foxx the one that came out? Who's the kid that was in the Kingsman? Is that the Jamie
oh,
Foxx one?
you
No, I'm
might be
thinking of
right. You might be right. This
he was
Jamie Foxx is 2018, and
oh
it's
man.
Taron Egerton as Robin Hood, and Jamie
That's it.
Foxx as Little John.
Yeah, I thought that one was entertaining because that's
It
like a
was.
it's not it's very Guy Ritchie-esque. Is it
Yeah,
Guy Ritchie? I
yeah.
think it might be Guy Ritchie.
Directed by Otto Bathurst, so
Okay,
not Guy
Otto
Ritchie, but
Bathurst,
I
so not
definitely
Guy
see the
Ritchie.
a Guy Ritchie vibe in
It
that.
was
I get
very
that.
like the fight
Yeah,
scenes and stuff like that had that like singular focal point.
yeah,
So, like I don't know, just I thought it was good. I mean,
yeah,
it wasn't anything amazing, but it was very. I mean, Robin Hood in general is just it's you you can't make anything new with Robin
yeah,
Hood. It's literally just a guy, what thugs stealing from the
yeah,
rich and giving to the
yeah,
poor. That you can't like make anything like, whoa, that was like
yeah,
really? Was it amazing? Was it the most amazing thing that no, it was Robin Hood. It's just
yeah,
entertaining, you know? It's like
yep,
a retelling of the story in just some other creative way.
yep.
And I think they've done fairly well. You know, obviously some are I think I didn't like Prince of Thieves because I didn't know I could never pinpoint like was it a serious movie? Was it a funny movie?
Yeah.
Did it want to take itself seriously? Did it not? Because sometimes it did and sometimes it didn't. And like, yeah, Alan Rickman was oh, what a great role. I remember watching it. I was like, oh
Was
my
he
gosh.
who was he? Was he Prince John or I don't
No,
remember.
he
I mean,
was
I
the
saw this.
sheriff. He was the sheriff of
Oh, he
Nottingham.
was. Okay.
He's
All
the,
right.
like, uncle. Why would you cut his heart out with a spoon and not a
Right,
knife?
right,
He was like,
right.
it's dull, you twit. It'll hurt
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
And I was like, I remember watching that being like, is this supposed to be funny? Like I couldn't I mean, it was
Yeah.
Alan Rickman just like cracking jokes in a serious scene. I don't know. It
Right.
was just I just get
Yeah,
that
I was
feel that
8
that
when
movie's
that movie
just
came out. I
blockbuster.
should not have watched that movie,
Yeah,
but
that's too young.
I
That's
guess
too
I
young
haven't
for
seen
that.
it since 1991. So, I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know if it
Did that
holds up or
movie come
not.
out similar time as First Night? Because it feels that like
Oh, it
that
does.
same like I'm gonna tell a serious story in a
Yeah.
very not serious way, you know, and just have fun and be adventure. It's like a
First
popcorn
Night was
blockbuster date flick.
95. That the one with Richard Gere and Sean Connery. Do you mean A Knight's Tale?
No, I
Is that
meant
the one?
First Night,
Oh, you did.
the
Okay.
one with Richard Gere, where it was like
That's a
at
great.
times
I love that movie too.
you're like they're trying to be serious, but
Yeah. And I
that's what
think
both of
Sean
those felt like.
Connery, if I'm remembering right, Sean Connery cameos in Prince of Thieves. I think he's King Richard in that.
I think he is. Yes, I think you're right.
So,
Yeah,
yeah. So that's cool. That's
that's
cool.
funny.
Anyway, we've talked so much about things
Anyway,
that are not Rocket Robin
not
Hood,
rock.
but
Yes. Oh, okay.
I feel like we've kind of got to our Oak of Arc moments here. But
Yes.
what is yours? Tell me what your Oak of Arc
So
moment is.
my Oak of Arc moment was it's really just the look. The look of
Yeah.
the spacemen for me
Yeah.
was very Flash Gordon-y like,
Yeah.
which I don't know if you're a huge fan of the Buster Crab Flash Gordon. There is a lot of
I know
a lot of
almost nothing about Flash
oh
Gordon.
nothing
So.
oh okay so a lot of the episodes, especially involving Prince Baron has a very like Robin Hoodie esque clothing to them, and they wear
Oh.
like those weird
Oh,
tunics
yeah.
that they're
Okay.
wearing in this, and I'm like, this is almost like a clone. And I had to look up. I was like, I thought that Flash Gordon was like in the 30s, and here we
Yeah.
are in like 67,
Yeah.
totally
Yeah.
copying that like 30
Right.
something years later. Which for me, I was like, oh, like they really couldn't have like spruced it up a bit and
Yeah.
made them a little bit more. I mean, Robin Hood does, but like everyone else, like Maid Marian
Yeah.
was straight up wearing like a Robin Hood leotard.
She's dressed like Robin Hood. Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
dressed like Robin Hood, yeah.
Yeah.
And so like
That
for me, I was
actually
just like, come on, yeah, it's okay.
that is my Oak of Arc moment because I thought like of all the things that you know about Robin Hood, it's like the green hat, the bow and arrow,
Yeah.
and like we hardly ever like he
We har-
shoots an
yeah.
arrow occasionally, but it's not, and they're not really even like space arrows. They seem like they're just like arrows.
They're rocket arrows. I saw
Yeah.
like in one of the little vignettes that they
Yeah.
had, like I guess that before the episodes. I wanted to write those in, but I was like, there's no way this is going to make sense
Yeah.
to anybody
No,
listening.
no.
that okay, and we cut to entrance of or a description of Little John,
Yeah.
but no, yeah, there's one scene where he like fires the arrow into the castle and it
Yeah.
goes through a bag of gold, like a
Right.
quintessential Robin Hood thing to shoot the
Yes.
bag of gold, and then all of a sudden it lifts up and then comes out the other window
Oh, right.
and
Yeah,
flies over
you're
to
right.
him and he
Space
catches it.
arrow.
So it's like
No, you're right.
space arrow. It's got a rocket on it, which actually was kind of cool.
Yeah.
But dude, first episode, you have
Yeah.
to have the hat,
Yeah.
you have to have the bow and arrow, and you have to have stealing of gold and giving it to the poor. And it's funny,
Yeah.
they technically didn't have any of those correct
No,
because Maid Marian was wearing the hat. There
Yeah.
was no bow and arrow technically
Yeah.
in the episode,
right.
and they
It's only
took
in
the
the
bags
wraparounds.
of gold,
Yeah.
but they never gave. I mean, you never see them give it. They're just like,
No.
let's take our booty. And I was
No.
just like, wait a minute, wait,
Yeah.
are you guys gonna give that to the poor? You're just gonna
Yeah.
take it? Like,
So I don't know. I just felt like if you're not going to make Robin Hood look like Robin Hood, that is so weird. And the fact that
Yeah.
Marion was dressed as Robin Hood was, I just didn't really get what they were doing with that. And she
Yeah.
didn't have much to do in this episode, but in some of the later
Not at
things
all.
that I
Yeah.
watched, she had a lot more to do, and I thought was actually a really cool character. And so like
Okay.
her in the Robin Hood suit and like being cool, I don't know, like I liked that a lot, but I just had to ding it for that because it's just like
yeah.
that's the one thing you have to do, and they didn't do it. So
Yeah. I mean, that's the
thought
first
that
thing I
was
saw.
weird.
I was like, oh, she's wearing a hat. She's wearing the Robin Hood hat
Yeah.
with a feather.
Yeah,
And then that
yeah,
was
even
it.
the red feather, the whole thing. Yeah, and
Yeah.
he does. He looks very much like Jor-El from the Silver Age, like in Superman comics, with that
Does he?
whole like, oh
Okay.
yeah.
He
Yeah,
looks
it's
like
almost
you.
exact.
He's got
Thanks, man.
that's when I saw like his face like
Yeah.
on one of the things. I was like, oh, it's Nick. It's
Yeah.
totally Nick. Nick's
Maybe
Robin
that's
Hood.
why I like it. Maybe
Yep,
maybe
that's why
it's
I
just
like
a
it so much.
vanity project for me. What was your Ichiwawa moment?
So I liked the Robin Hood trickery. I thought it was funny to me. This is where I talked about where like I feel like normally I'd be like, this is a huge glaring plot hole. Like
Yeah.
a dude, he's like, what does the prince say? He says like, oh, what are your last requests? And he's like, oh, my last request is to take a look at the treasure, of all the stuff that you've stolen from everybody. And I
Yeah.
just thought like, oh, well, that's convenient. Like maybe he would just, I thought maybe he's just like trying to burn time. And then
Yeah.
it just so happened that Robin Hood's men were dressed as the torturers because at that time of the day, only the torturers would have been going to. So I guess regularly
yeah.
at that time of the day, the prince tortures people. So
I guess.
I thought
Yeah,
that was
I
really
guess
funny when he's
so.
like, normally at this time of the day, it's just
Yeah.
the torturers. And it's like,
Yeah,
there's a time of day. It's like,
yeah, they got
oh,
it on
yeah,
the
it's 3
schedule. They
p.m.,
got it on the
right on
schedule.
schedule.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
you
like a
got-
tea time.
there's
they
9
gotta
of them
stick
this
to it.
time, though. It's weird, like,
Yep.
and then it ended up working out because then you go back and you're like, wait a minute, he couldn't have known. So he just decided that that's what he wanted to do with his
Yeah.
last, he
Yeah.
didn't say like, I'd like to go to one last ride through the country, through
Right.
the woods in the back of the,
Yeah.
like, I don't know, something that would have like made sense to
Yeah.
like get him out. But yeah, he just wanted to look at the gold and then it worked out for him, which
Yeah, they're like, all right, you knucklehead.
yeah, he's like, fine. Even Tantor's like, or Tantor. What is Tantor from? I don't even know. I kept
that
trying to type
He-Man?
that. Is that He-Man?
I
I
feel like
kept
that's
trying to like
He-Man.
type it out, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And I saw it so many times I had to like I had to go in and add Titanor as a word in my dictionary so that I could redo all of them as Titanor.
Tantor is an elephant in Tarzan.
Oh,
So maybe
okay.
there's a Xanthor in He-Man, but I kept thinking they were
Oh.
saying Titana, and it was like, well, that seems like a lady torturer's
lady
name,
name,
not
yeah.
a male.
Ooh, maybe you have an
torturer's
idea
name.
there.
Yeah,
Then
I don't
about
know.
Titana. Like,
Yeah.
he has a
Yeah.
girl name.
Yeah.
No, like, I mean, the trickery was good. Like, I thought that's quintessential. Like,
Yeah.
the
Getting the one up on
he's
him, yeah.
tricking them, and
Outsmarting
then
them.
his men are disguised as
Yeah.
the king's men, which was like literally every Robin Hood out there. His men are disguised as the king's
Yeah,
men.
you got to do it.
Let's
You
be
gotta do
honest.
it.
So
Yep.
I was like, that's a knockout. They
You have
killed
to.
it. The algorithm works.
Yep.
Because it was entertaining and it was the same thing. It's the same thing. It's
Yeah.
the same thing. So what about you?
Yep. Well, here's the thing. Like, if it's camp, this is a compliment. If it's not camp, I think I'm maybe insulting it. But I thought that the duel between Robin Hood and Titanor when they're in like they're sort of in space and there's all these like
Yeah.
little like asteroids or planets around them and they're just like beating each other up and like getting hit and it's just so funny. And then like Robin Hood gets the upper hand and he gives Titantor like a moment to I don't know, like surrender or something, and then he tries to pull a gun on him, and Robin Hood's just like bam, bam, and then all the guys pop out out of nowhere, and it's just
Yeah.
like scene after scene of him just like throwing him over the edge. I just thought it was so funny that it cracked me up. So if they meant it to crack me up, good work. If not, no. I also think it's really hilarious in the opening credits where it's like Rocket Robin Hood and he's standing there with his hands on his hips, but then he goes to a very like theatrical, throws his hands in the air like huzzah. And like my wife and I both just like burst out laughing because it was so funny.
It's
Something
very
about the
unexpected.
animation. It
Yeah.
is. It's very like jazz hands at
Yeah.
the end of it, which was really
I
funny.
thought the fight scene in space was very odd, right? Because
Yes, it was.
the planets were, or like the asteroids, I guess, kind of set the immensity of
Yes.
where they were, and all of a sudden Titanor just runs into one like
Right.
oof, and you're like, oh wait, they're small. Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
thought
yeah.
like,
Exactly.
Okay, this space
Yes.
is very small. It's not
Yeah.
as big as I thought it was.
It looked
And,
like it's like the background animation cells seem like you would have a ship the size of like a postage stamp in the background as if it's far
Yes.
away. But no, they show up in the foreground and these are just like
you
I
think
don't
they're,
know,
like,
the size of like an
thousands of light
exercise
years
ball,
away.
you know what I mean? Like it's just
They do kind of
so-
pop out like
it's
their exercise
chaos.
balls.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man.
I don't know. I don't always like. Do I think people need to go watch the Dukes of Hazzard show? No, I do not. Do I think people should drop what they're doing and start watching Rocket Robin Hood? 100%.
Oh, totally.
It's definitely worth it because
Wait,
it's so
why
weird.
skis? Right. So like,
I
why not
don't
just
know
rocket
why
boot?
skis.
Why
I
not
don't
rocket?
know.
But like that to me, I
They
was like,
kept
a ski
skiing.
is a very specific surface required
Right.
implement
Right.
device.
Well,
like,
and it also has nothing to do with Robin Hood. Whereas in
Yes.
those little wraparound, so you get like 3 title sequences, as we've said, and one of them, Robin is riding like this jet
oh my gosh,
horse, like this
zebra
jet-powered
horse?
horse. Yeah.
yeah.
And that makes sense to me. Robin
Yeah.
Hood is always riding
I was like,
horses.
I wanna
So like
see
he's
that.
got his
That's what I
jet
wanna
horse,
see.
but it's never in the episode. They just are on cute little skis, just like zipping around like a couple of ski bunnies.
Dude,
fighting
the
each
one,
other.
the
So-
one I should have put this as my Ichiwawa moment, but Little John's staff, his rocket staff,
Oh yeah.
dude, that's baller.
Yeah,
That thing
it
was
is.
awesome. He's
Yeah.
like flying through space in this like
Yeah.
fully extended
Yeah.
rocket.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's just something about
Yeah.
that I was like,
It really has
that
a charm
rules.
to it. It really has
Yeah.
a charm to it. I think that as a kid, I mean, I loved Super Friends, and Super Friends is not much more sophisticated than this. I mean,
Yeah.
some episodes maybe, but most of the time, no. I think that I would have been like, yeah, keep it going. Give me more Rocket Robin Hood. If I was
think
watching this in like,
yeah.
if I was watching this instead of Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves in 1991, I think I would have been all about it.
You know, I think the fact that you know, I mean, you said at the beginning, it's like just pick one. Like, are you,
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
know, are you modern or are you not? And it's just
Yeah.
like I think it only works that it doesn't work is because it's not trying to take itself seriously at any
No.
moment. It doesn't
No.
feel like they were like, oh, there's a lesson to be learned here. We're like, oh boy, they got to like wrap it
Yeah.
up. No, it was just, you know, just
Yeah.
the algorithm. Like, hey, you know, I'm sure there was, I saw an episode of some other show, you know, where they did the same thing. All right, yeah, let's
Yeah,
do that. We
yeah.
can do that. You know, and it just worked.
Yeah, it's action packed. It moves quick. It's you know, it has bad animation, but I feel like the vocal performances are kind of fun and funny, and they have that sort of like I'm the hero, but they sort of subvert that a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know
The
what their
jokes
goals
were
were.
good.
Yeah,
Right? What was it?
Yeah.
The very first one where he's like, "Oh, Little John, you need to be on your toes," and Little
Yeah.
John picks him up and tosses him into the pond,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Looks like you're not on your toes." And
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Oh, that was pretty
Yeah.
good." Like,
Yeah.
you know, and he was even like, "Looks like I should take my own advice."
Right.
It was like,
Right.
"Yes,
so it is kind
yes,
of
you
it's
should."
tongue in cheek in places.
It's very
yeah.
tongue in cheek.
I don't think that I can give this Yub Nubs because again, it is objectively bad, but I had a good time with it. So
yeah, I know. See, if I'm not
whatever.
a Robin Hood
Whatever.
fan, I'm like, I hate it. I don't know why
Yeah.
you guys are even.
yeah.
There's a guy I know who's also a Star Wars fan, but we like Star Wars in very different
Yeah.
ways. And he is very much like me, where he's like, no, that's not good at
Yeah,
all.
yeah,
No, that's
yeah.
terrible. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what? So like this is one of those like we needed a third person. We needed like Crystal to be like,
Yeah.
guys, what is wrong? Are you like, what is wrong with you? This was
Yeah.
terrible. I can't believe you made me watch
Yeah.
this.
You know what? I'm going to say right now, I feel like maybe next year or something, we pick the trippiest third season episode and see if Crystal will come back on and talk about it, because I think
We
this
owe
will
her
blow
that.
her mind. I think it will blow her mind straight out. Yeah.
Are you not going to yum nums? I would give this a 4,
Yeah.
which is very generous. But like
Yeah.
when I finished it, I was like, I actually kind of want to watch a little
Yeah.
more of it.
Yeah.
I don't know. This was just so. You're right. Trippy is the word.
Yeah.
Where I'm like,
It is.
are
It's weird.
I forgot we were in space.
I agree with 4 stars, but there's nothing that's like objective about that. It's just that's how much I enjoyed it.
Yes,
I was just
I think I
was
enjoyed
just
it
ready
about
for
a
more.
4.
So
Yeah.
in this we've been talking about things we've done. I feel like we should give people a heads up that some of the things we have on our schedule in the coming months are Stargate Infinity, Gilligan's
Ooh.
Planet, Superman the Animated Series, and lots more things like that. So if you want to watch ahead, those are some things that we have in the hopper.
Oh yeah.
But next time we will be back in Star Wars territory as we're covering the new Yoda Chronicles with Raid on Coruscant.
Oof, I can't wait for that.
Yep.
I can't wait for that to get better.
Yeah. It'll
think
get
it's
better just in
unfolding.
time to end, I think is how that's going to work. But
Probably.
I don't know.
Well, that was
don't know.
excellent because it's over.
Yeah, and now there's no more. Although at this point, I'm halfway talked into scrapping everything and just becoming a full Rocket Robin Hood podcast. But probably we should not. We shouldn't.
Spin off the
We shouldn't.
Rockin' Rocket Robin
Yeah, the
Hood
Rockin' Rocket. Oh my, the Rockin'
Podcast.
Rocket Robin Hood.
podcast.
As much as you struggle to say the regular things, I can't imagine your little brain would pop trying to say Rocket
You have to
Robin.
be so bold, so I get
Yeah,
the welcome to the
Rocket Robin Hood. Yeah.
Rockin' Robin Hood.
Yeah. Smoke's just coming out of your
That
ears.
wasn't even close. Yeah, I tried. That was, believe it or not, that was the 19th take.
That was the best we could use, the only usable take. So
you just piece together
yeah.
Rocket Robin Hood podcast.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yoda Chronicles next time. I'll see you then.
I'll see you then. This Endorian Life is brought to you by the Radio Meanwhile Network. Be sure to check out some of the other shows on the network, including 902 and Here We Go, and previously on X-Men. Please rate, subscribe, and share these shows wherever you get your podcasts.
Rocket Robin Hood.
Each one.